Board of Education Chair, Ms. Debbie Lineline, Board of Education members, Dr. Robinson, honored guests, faculty members, parents, and friends of the class of 2012. We welcome you tonight to the graduation ceremony of Newtown High School.
For the graduates here tonight, this is an exciting passage from high school to the next phase of your life. Whatever you have for plans for this next phase, the difference in this rite of passage from all those previous is this step is probably the one requiring the greatest independence. This one takes a lot of courage, as many of you will be leaving Newtown for new locations, but a great many decisions in life take courage.
The meaning of the word commencement is beginning, and that is what we are here to celebrate tonight. Not an ending, but a beginning for you, the graduates. This is the moment for which you have been preparing for the last 13 years. To use all that you have learned to choose a direction for your life. Your accomplishments throughout your years in Newtown are something to be proud of, and we as a community congratulate you for them.
Looking in from the outside, this group was a surprisingly amazing culmination of various types of people, personalities, and talents. There's a sort of togetherness that comes from diverse groups of people working as one. Even this week at graduation practice, I was able to feel that buzz of excitement and liveliness this group of students emits.
There are 402 students sitting before you today, and every one of them should be proud of the amazing things that they have achieved at their time in Newtown High School. The class of 2012 is very involved in the school, greater community, and beyond.
As we leave this auditorium today, ready to take on the world, it's important to remember their sacrifices, to ask ourselves what we have to offer. Don't say you'll make a difference. Do it. Show it. Fail. Get back up. Do it again. Fail harder. But don't put yourself in a position to have regrets. Let's resolve today, together, to work not only to improve ourselves, but to improve the lives of those around us.
I wanted to create a poem for you that you'd remember for life. A poem that would linger in your minds longer than Kim Kardashian's wedding. A poem that would last longer than the senior courtyard privileges. And a poem that would stand strong like Robbie Byers' pecs. Can I get a witness? And so here it is, a poem just for you, simply for you, the Newtown High School 2012 graduating class, best class ever, leaders of tomorrow, those about to make the world a better place, and I title it, YOLO, you only live once. Being 18 is terrifying. But so is wanting to kiss Amanda Calver at a high school dance in England at age 18. And I'm not ashamed to admit that my chest thumped like a wrecking ball as we looked at each other across the dance floor with nobody to stop us. And I'm not ashamed to say that I was sweating through my nylon print shirt from 1980s that was pasted to my young body so that I looked like Ryan Gosling in his rain-soaked t-shirt in The Notebook. And I'm certainly not ashamed to say that my nerves were so #British boy problems that all I did was stand there, watching and waiting and hoping that maybe she would walk over to me, that maybe somebody would just pick her up and carry Amanda to me. But there Amanda and I stood, trembling like newborns, trembling like Freddie directing student traffic at 2 p.m. And when you peel yourselves away from your shopping malls and your Facebook accounts and your tweets just long enough, my God, you were there to witness the first ever October snow that fell onto Ram's pasture, the first ever October snow that drifted over Taunton Pond, where you once plunged your summer bodies into the screaming bubbles that met you with all the promise of a first kiss. that you witnessed an October snow that drifted onto the Blue Colony Diner, where you flirted over milkshakes and you laughed over cheese fries. The same October snow that drifted across the Friday night lights, where together you laughed and sung and held hands and made your night's plans. The same October snow that drifted from the heavens onto this town, where your parents taught you to ride bikes and dropped you to your first sleepovers, stood on the sidelines of your soccer pitches. They ran the track with you, swim meets, band practices, dressed you in your prom clothes, and then waved goodbye, like they will have to wave goodbye to you this fall as you pack your bags and you head towards the dance floors of your lives with all the promise of magic, of love, of life, and Amanda, the girl from 6 Minutes Past in that poem that I didn't kiss. The girl who's standing in front of you right now at this very moment, arms outstretched and beckoning for you, simply beckoning for you and your beautiful lips.
I'd like to know who makes me follow Mr. Keylock in the program. This side, smile. Pictures that nobody else will be able to get. This side. Wow. All right. I want to warn all the graduates of a person who will try to misguide you, deceive you, and even discourage you. This person will try to convince you that your opinions are the result of rational, objective analysis. This person will try to convince you that when you learn something new, that you actually knew it all along. This person will try to convince you to find meaning and connection among random events and coincidences. This person will try to convince you that you make decisions based solely on the validity of information and not on the status or credibility of the individual delivering it. This person will try to convince you that you can easily move beyond first impressions. This person will try to convince you that the people you disagree with are gullible and you are far less susceptible to persuasion than they are. Perhaps you figured out that the person to whom I'm referring is you. We excel at noticing the flaws of our friends, but can rarely see them as clearly in ourselves. But you can tip the scales in your favor. Have the courage to expose your weaknesses. Ask hard questions when making complex decisions. Listen to the feedback of those you trust. The diplomas will be presented first to the top 5% of the class, and then to the class of 2012 in alphabetical order.
Megan Elizabeth Davis. Abby M. Dosky. Hunter D. French. Jessica Ann Heitz. Lauren Elizabeth Harrison. Linda P. Michaela Rose Kemsley. Jessica Marie LaJoy. Marina Leonard Calvo. Jessica M. Lynch. Hannah A. Merritt. Donald Joseph Morrissey. Justina Jane Bobrowski. Maximilian Lord Schmidt.